r/AskReddit. If sexual experiences were like trading cards, what would be your rarest card? Put my foot through a wall while getting some extra leverage. Opt for virtual currency in World of Warcraft. Basically an e-prostitute. You a very brave taco, you are the MVP of this post. A shower sex orgasm so intense she literally fainted. Late to reply, but I just want a very brave taco achievement. Sex underneath the Hollywood sign. After they put the fence up. Actually had sex with a step sibling. Sex in a bounce house. I would just like to point out that as of this moment a very brave taco has received 54 silvers, 10 golds and 2 platinums from this thread alone. Edit. Thanks to you/666 peacekeeper girl. The count currently stands at 76 gold awards, 222 silver awards, 30 Santa Nice awards, 11 Santa Rocket Like awards, 21 platinum awards, 10 Cybergift awards, 1 Santa Na award, 2 Wholesome awards, 4 Rocket Toboggan awards, 1 Dink award, 1 Original award, 1,242,000 upvotes. Making prolonged eye contact with a girl. Gave my boyfriend his first to completion blowjob. And he came so hard it almost came out my nose. Came back from a night of heavy drinking with the GF. And apparently got busy. I don't remember the act. I just woke up to see 3 used condoms. And all the makeup she had been wearing was pressed into the wall. Fucked on a hammock and no one fell off. A few years ago, I dated a girl who was paralyzed from the waist down. She never had sex after her accident because she thought she wouldn't be able to feel anything down there. It turns out she just couldn't feel as far as her fingers could reach. After experimenting for a bit, we were able to have good old-fashioned vaginal sex. She spent a long time believing she'd never enjoy sex after her accident. So being able to help her experience that part of her life again is what I'm the most proud of. In my eyes. It's a limited edition. Edit. Thanks for the gold. My fellow internet stranger. I'll be sure to pay it forward. : My GF at the time surprised me by tying me up, gagging me and put a dildo in my butt. It was the best nut I've ever had. Having sex with a very brave taco. A woman swallowing. Maybe a pinky in the booty. I have accidentally turned down more sex because I didn't correctly read the signs than anyone I know. The double nut. Gymnastic. Perks. Flexible. Candy complex things. 50/50 bet. Will introduce you to insane positions sometimes. If unprepared gives effect called confusion. Threesome on a Ferris wheel. Sex. I was part of a foursome and came so many times I was weak-kneed for hours. I got very oversensitive towards the end and sat back to just watch. 2 out of the 4 of us hadn't come yet. So after I tapped out, I became what I called the sex referee. Need a condom? I got you. Where's the lube? I found it. All done? I brought water for everyone. It was awesome. My release had exceptionally high pressure at the climax of my first hand job. It hit the wall more than 5 feet away. I'm pretty vanilla. So that's probably my only card that isn't from the starter deck. Sex in a dugout. Sex while scuba diving. Horrible fucking sex. But definitely a rare shiny card. It's for threads like this that I regret turning down the opportunity to sleep with a man from Greenland. SRY. My flawed social life doesn't allow me to collect those cards. Fucked a police officer. Literally broke the law. Getting a blowjob at work from an ex-escort that was able to take her teeth out. I once fisted 2 people at once. I refer to it as my meat gloves experience. I wasn't even that into it sexually. Just kind of happened and I thought it'd make a funny story later on. Sex in grandma's bed. Got a blowjob in the middle of a field. Turns out I was sitting on an anthill. I started to get bitten so I jumped up, which surprised the girl who bit my dick and made it bleed. She had braces. Y'all out there having sex while I'm here, not having sex. The fivesome. Me and my best friend, A and M. Males, and 3 girls, S and K and T. 1 girl was his girlfriend, S. 1 turned into my girlfriend many months later, K. And the 3rd was a mutual friend of ours, T. We had a sex centipede going at one point. S, K, T, M. It was pretty mind-blowing. Among other things. I found out afterwards that my best friend was extremely turned on watching his GF do things with other people. Crazy times. Passing a state trooper while in a very compromising situation. Then the lights. Driving down the highway in my old Chevy S10 with a 5 SPD manual and bench seat. GF at the time was wearing a skirt and horny as fuck. She gets on top and goes to town while I'm driving. Semi-truck honked as we drove past cause she waved at him. Edit, spelling. Accidentally touching hands with a stranger. Forgot you were wearing a condom for 8 hours because her stepdad came home mid-act and you had to get dressed in a hurry so you didn't get shot. GF stopped having sex with me because we did it for so long once that she developed orgasm migraines. Before you crack the joke that headaches are supposed to happen beforehand or that she was faking it. I already made that joke to her B. You're supposed to fake the orgasm. Not the crippling migraine edit. Heads to headaches. Finger bang 2 girls in a library. At the same time. Squirting my boyfriend's cream pie on his face. I call it the return to sender. Edit. Where are you? Taco? I got told by a hot older woman, 39. Me 29 at the time, that I had the pleasure of dating for a bit. You eat pussy like a lesbian. I'm a man. And she was far more sexually adventurous than me. But I'd like to reconnect and try to get on her level. I also want that compliment recorded and notarized. It really meant a lot to me. First time anal and earning red wings simultaneously. Not proud of that card and it's a high summon cost but it tends to dominate the table. I'm not proud. But it was probably meeting a girl on Tinder who ended up having an ankle bracelet who snorted a line in my front seat before we moved to the back seat. I also, unfortunately, had to drive her to get the line about 15 miles away. I was a somewhat extreme version of young, dumb, and full of cum. Do experiences that happen and dreams count? Middle of the night. Having sex with my GF then hearing my sister yell from the hall, the last thing I wanna hear is you two fucking waking up the rest of my family. Late to the party but whatever. This just happened a month ago and I'm still in the afterglow. Threesome. Met a girl via Tinder. She brought her friend along for safety. All 3 of us got into the tequila. Girl decides that she feels safe and her friend agrees to drive us back to mine. So girl and I are in the back making out and driving friend reaches back with her free hand and grabs my junk. Player 3 has entered the game. Doing it at work. In a strip bar with my own husband posing as a customer. Trying to not get caught doing it during a lap dance. Expected to get fired. The boss's daughter. Receiving oral stimulation while she's taking a poop. It's an alternative card to the Blumpkin Lotus. Had sex with a 21-year-old and a 40-year-old woman less than 24 hours apart. Fucking under a church. Edit. For those wondering. It was drainage tunnel for flash floods built under a Spanish mission dating to the late 1600s. I won't even have a deck. Got a BJ in the college yearbook office. Overlooking the campus. Also booty called a girl who drove over 100 miles to come hook up. She drove home the same night. Jerking myself off through the walls of the vagina and ass. To be more specific, engaging in anal sex and having 2 fingers and a thumb inside the vagina and I was able to grab myself as I was sliding in and out. It was crazy hot. Sex with a Zulu woman who wondered what it was like to fuck a white man, the beneficiary of someone's sex tourism. Same thing. Actually. Also in Africa. With a Muslim girl who was allowed to travel for a school, college. I should emphasize, trip and figured it was the only chance she was going to get. I fingered my ex so well she couldn't think straight. No idea how that happened, but it was a good hour of her not paying attention to what I was saying and occasionally saying she still felt aftershocks. Fun times. Hey. How's it going? Great. Cock blocked by a dog puking up a tampon on the bed. How much money you make? Both have advertisements with one quick trick. My boyfriend throwing up after eating me out. To be fair, it wasn't from any smell. Just poor timing. Email signature size doesn't matter. I've seen some truly massive ones. Putting my whole hand into my XGF. Gave head while watching Shrek the Musical. Slept with a guy who came so hard he started convulsing and twitching for a good couple minutes after. It'd be one of those two for sure. Faking an orgasm as a man. Thanks to you, a very brave taco, we are all witnessing internet history. I fucked a 40-year-old virgin. Don't recommend. Back when Craigslist still had casual encounters, I met a woman who was sleeping around to get revenge on her abusive ex. I got a hotel room and we got busy. Was wanting to see a movie afterwards. So I asked her if she wanted to tag along. We went and got dinner afterwards. We've been together 2 years now. TL. Doctor had sex and then asked her on a date afterwards. Edit. Wow, this blew up. To everyone wondering. She stopped sleeping around shortly after she met me and it's been exclusively just us since. She had tried leaving him already like 6 different times but always went back because she didn't have a support system. Divorce was finalized and she changed her name back to her maiden one. She went on a keto diet and has lost 100 pounds since last year. She is doing very well. Get the unmarried pastor's daughter pregnant. Edit. It was the daughter who was unmarried. In hindsight, I can see how my sentence was unclear. Please stop making the same lame jokes about an unmarried pastor. Sex on acid. Threesome. Roadhead. Y'all have had some crazy lives. Blowy at the Grand Canyon Fuwak. I am an above average man. So I can say vaginal openings are just about the same thing. There's OMG you're so tight. Normal. And can we try anal sometime? Fucking asexual. Church musicians say. It's not the size of your organ. 7 years of marriage without sex. Cowgirl while driving down the 405 or BJ on the bus from DC to Nick. I lost my virginity at 14 to a 17-year-old who was trying to make her boyfriend jealous because he was cheating on her. I had known her for all of an hour at this point. I guess I was simply a conveniently located penis. Keep in mind, I'd never had a girlfriend or even a female friend at the time. I hadn't even seen porn other than stumbling onto stuff my older brother left for me to find. Pretty sure that would be an excessively rare card right there. Edit. Just got off work. RIP my inbox. Gonna start replying to comments now. Edit 2. Figured it'd be better here than in the replies. To all the people crying rape. Yes. I was still 2 years younger than the age of consent in my state, 16. But I still said yes willingly and of my own accord. I definitely wanted it. Even though the law says I couldn't have. Yes. I was awkward and uncomfortable. But that was because I had zero experience with girls at all. She didn't do any kind of lasting damage to me mentally or physically at all. My wife's V card, there was only one. And I got it. Triple orifice. BJ. Vaginal and anal. Same woman. Same night. 3 nuts. In law school. She was beautiful and sexy and loved doing everything. Sex in my office during work hours. Blowjob on a sidewalk during rush hour. Anal while she was on the phone with her mom. Handjob while sitting at the end of a bar. I have an extra nipple in my armpit. And my ex tried to play with it to turn me on. It didn't work. And he complained that everything tasted like deodorant after. No shit. Buddy. Not sure what that card would be called. But it was certainly an experience. Edit. A number of medical professionals in the comments have alerted me that it's likely a skin tag. Not an extra nipple. I don't really care what it is. The ex truly believed it was an extra nipple and wanted to see if it had any sensation. I just kinda rolled with it because I didn't know what to say at the time. Edit 2. Removed blurry photo evidence because I was getting some really weird messages. It's probably a skin tag or mole. And the photo wasn't even in focus. Can y'all please not be weirdly horny for 2 seconds? Fucking a little billionaire's daughter on the deck of his yacht while he and his buddies were in the front bar eating the 7-course degustacion I had just finished preparing. Threesome with identical twins. Sex with a white MILF. I was 22. She bought me Chili's. Musical instrument quality. You may have to work harder if your equipment is worse. I think my collection consists of a single card that I picked up in the rain, but it turned out to be a knockoff. Having 4 different women in my bed in 48 hours. Including a FFF threesome that we ended in time for us to all go together to see the latest Star Wars film on opening night. Sibling rivalry. Sleep with 2 girls who happen to be sisters, not at the same time. Hooked up with a girl I met at a party. We had sex a couple times and went our separate ways. Months later, reconnecting with a girl from high school and ended up dating with lots of sex included. It was an interesting dinner when I came over to meet her family and her sister recognized me. The family doesn't know, but both sisters do. Still dating to this day. BDSM threesome inside a church. Shh, don't tell anyone. Made a woman orgasm so many times she went temporarily blind. Had sex with Telos using my DSIM. You a very brave taco is not the hero we deserve, but the hero we need in this thread. Having a threesome in a graveyard. Snuck in the Chancellor's ballroom at my university. Closed the curtains and went at it. I remember looking up from her for a brief moment and locking eyes with an oil painting of the Chancellor and his wife. Dated a 30-year-old virgin who by the end let me film everything. Never watched it herself, or even knew cared what I'd done with it. And specifically said to keep it when we split up. Also posted some stuff online. She had no boundaries at all. Second or third time ever for her. She wanted fingers in her butt and it progressed. Turned her on in the first place by giving her a shoulder rub in the living room that she later confessed made her wet and want to play with herself. Before long she was in her bedroom. Bent over. In a tight bodysuit. A few days later we took her virginity. She later confessed that she would have been totally okay with me taking her forcefully when she was bent over. And thought about it every night. We also used to play a game on long journeys where she had to openly masturbate and wasn't allowed to stop until she came, even if we got caught in a queue or reached our destination. At least once she came in a crowded shopping car park with people walking past the car. And once with her family in the car behind. Open sunroofs. In the middle of the summer in a long queue. So loud that everyone couldn't not have heard. Hot tub sex. Or sex up against a golf cart. Was having sex while people were watching soccer in the other room. She came. I came. Their team scored. Everyone cheered. Receiving 7 blowjobs in one showing of the 1989 Batman movie. 2 hours. All from the same girl. All to completion. She was a bit of a fiend. Edit. 1998 equals 1989. Edit 2. My most upvoted comment is about my septuple blowjob. Yay. Put ping pong balls in my ex's pussy till she was filled up. She had a weird fetish of shooting them across the room this way. Then I fucked her in the ass until they all came out. We called it the Pez dispenser. Had sex at least 100 times behind a local KFC with my GF with strict parents. My ex had a brainstem glioma that went misdiagnosed as a minor seizure disorder. Every time I made her have an orgasm, she would have a grand mal seizure and go postickle for about 5 minutes. She insisted we keep having intercourse though. And as a paramedic, I never had a problem treating her during her downtime. FFF threesome plus made 2 girls orgasm at once. Having relations with a cake decorated to look like Mike Wazowski. Cupid date with the hottest woman I've ever slept with. She was this extremely pretty, petite Asian girl. We met up and wandered around her campus just talking because her roommate was home and didn't want to ask her to leave. Eventually she led me to a secluded spot. We got high. She climbed in my lap straddling me and we made out for a bit. Then she grabbed my hand and shoved it under her skirt and whispered that I had made her so wet. I went down on her while fingering her. And after a bit of that we walked back to my car. Drove to a remote area. And fucked in the back seat. Took her back to her dorm and never heard from her again. First time a girl ever called me daddy. Prepare for trouble. Make it double sleep with 2 women in the same 24 hours and get pregnant scares from both. IF. Had a one night stand with a foreign exchange student from France, M, in a college dorm room. My first time getting fingered in the ass. Threesome in the woods at a rave with 2 girls I had never met before. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe for more bloody content.